on the troll.
Ayikho wrong lento. Ezibhalela. It's not wrong. Right. The problem indlela nje esibekwe ngayo.
Oh. Sure. Mailana with the cell
Right.
phone links and the
Look, I've said this before. We've said it. We've been saying it, haven't we? Long time ago, we've been calling this. Hey, this is going to. This is where this is going. This was where this might be going. We tried to warn people, and we have some people here who are defending certain people. Who are just defending certain people, who are up in arms and defending certain people. Yeah, what? You wanna when the pointing is pointing on someone else, it's all right, it's good, well and good. Hey, about Bosch nan. But what about shifting a bit of that? And then pointing it to you.
Then it's a totally
it shouldn't
different
changes. You understand?
Yes.
So ayikho wrong lento. You're right. The problem is how you put it. So the theory now has been filled. And one thing I'm happy for is that it did not go the other way around, where at some point it seemed it was going to Mandisa's door.
Yes, it looked like that for quite some time.
For quite some time, when Kelly could have been part of the people that were still gonna testify.
Yes.
Then eventually, Jiggy, she was dropped on that list. Then Jiggy, here we go.
Now it's being resurrected again. But the big question still is, why is she not arrested?
Ayikho wrong lento.
Why is she not arrested? If you are saying that she was the mastermind and that she's had connections, but then looking at Stain's evidence that we analyzed over here on the channel, I was not sold and I was not convinced.
No, nobody's sold about this thing. Nobody's sold. Nobody will be ever sold by you taking out the people who were in the house, the full number, and creating an scapegoat, sort of giving you what you are actually looking for. Ayikho wrong lento. I still say we would have been better off with 375.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
we still get what we think we should get.
People
And
that
we
were
get it
closer
in
to the
we
incident.
get it in its entirety.
Yes.
Everyone be in, even Bomtogo and everyone else.
I still don't understand this covering of those people in the house. Like, why are they being so protected? It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, now we see that Kelly is being brought to the front. But even how she's being brought to the front,
It's through back door.
It's
for
through,
me.
yes, it's not direct.
It's not how it should have been. Now it's like, okay, we can give you this one.
And she's like a sacrificial.
Yeah, it's like, okay, for this is our opinion, obvious.
It's our
like, okay,
opinion,
we
yes.
can give you this one. How about we give you this one, because all of you are looking for this one. In any case,
Yes, it's
you're
like
not focusing
the
much.
public wants her. The public wants Kelly.
Mm,
And let us just give the public what they want.
How we give you, take what we give you, leave the rest, and then the rest is collateral damage. All I'm saying is that I still maintain the theory that this whole thing does not include the people who are in a stand right now, up until the so-called accused number 5.
Yes.
Do I think that she could have been
In contact.
the mastermind? Absolutely no. I don't think she could have been a mastermind.
Why?
She was not a mastermind, according to me. Never a mastermind. There is no proof. Even with the numbers they are claiming they were hidden and whatnot, there is no proof. There's no solid proof. It's like that issue of Bafana, the signal, the towers are pointing you.
Oh yes, they even tried it with Bafana to use that whole tower situation.
Yes, it's we have seen how that expect
really,
came, the cell phone expect that we're talking. It's not like they have we have not seen.
It doesn't stick.
It doesn't stick. So the same way someone just decided to wake up and tell the whole story of how these people were actually in front of them, were able to speak about this issue of how they were taking out Senzo and whatnot. It does not stick.
And remember how they said they have one number in common that they are contacted, or they have contacted, or that has contacted them. And I'm like, they were linking with numbers of insurance companies and networks. And do you remember, guys?
Basically, what they did is to give us everything that we might want, but still is not supposed to be supported by any evidence of some sort. Do you understand? There is nothing. You get a good lawyer, Kelly walks.
Yes, she will walk. There's nothing.
With a good lawyer, she walks. Even if they were to bring her. Was it a good move for Mngomezulu to bring this up? Yes.
The affidavit, because a lot of people are saying
it was, because it has been read selectively, which paints a certain narrative and puts more pressure on him to say that these are people. But the story is not finished. Mngomezulu, what he did, he just finished the story for you.
Now we have all pieces of the puzzle.
Do you understand?
All have them now. We understand where this is coming from. This whole implication of as well of Kelly, it's been there. It's just
it has been dangled in front of our face all the time. You know, for me it's okay. We needed that.
We needed it, ne?
And if you are going to paint the story as the so-called judge always say, don't hide anything. For someone who doesn't hide anything, let me tell you, upon this thing being read, he was very shouting. He was shouting. I don't know why this thing, some people just bring things that are unnecessary. We have let them do that. He was throwing tantrums.
He was jumpy. And I wondered why. I'm like, it's just a statement. You are the one who came up with that whole rule of having people read the entire statement. So now what is happening now? Should he? It's like they were trying to activate anxiety in him not to release.
Not to continue. They were warning him.
They were warning.
The state was warning
stuff.
him.
I'm like, what is the big hoo-ha?
So Mngomezulu did the right thing. He finished it.
And they're like, it's going to implicate their clients, their defense and their clients at their own peril. And I'm like, oh, how?
Finish it.
Johnny, because they're already in the prison.
Already, it seems as if you have taken a position when it comes to them. Let us finish it.
Let us just finish it once and
let us hear why the DPP...
No, it's going to affect the main trial. I wouldn't have main trial.
Let us hear why the DPP said this one...
Cannot be arrested.
Cannot be
But
arrested.
arrest these 5.
Finish it.
Finish it, please.
Mm-hmm.
We are tired.
We are tired. We are
Sure.
tired. It's a good thing. So now the pressure is no longer on him alone. And everyone in the house must dance now because everyone is implicated.
Skatele, these people.
What also worried me is how Gininda kept on referencing Shololo as a person who was there
At the regional court.
At the regional court.
Pouring in her name there.
And there was no reaction from Shololo. And I know many people, go Shoza. And I've been quiet and understanding. And I never might have liked the approach initially when Tifo was there. We called it out.
We did.
Right, we called it out when he was made to feel like he's losing his mind and all that. He's just a bad lawyer and whatnot. At some point, I was pointing the finger right there to the colleague to say, why are you quiet, not working as a team? So
I guess now we kind of have a clue why.
now everything is pissing up.
She's been there from the beginning. Pela,
Piece
this regional
by
court
piece.
appearance was way before Tefo even came into the picture.
Piece by piece.
Agirintanzi was represented by
There might have
Chiago.
been even
The other ones were not having any formal representation. It was way before Advocate Tefo came into the picture.
there might have been even the issue of perhaps representing all these accused. Perhaps, I'm just saying, sometimes it felt like there's that I could have represented them all.
All 5 by myself.
Now we're here. Was that going to be a good move if
No.
it happened? Not at all.
No.
Because we need all specialities
Yes, you need
in
all kinds
all
of minds.
their categories, all of them. We need
All
them.
kinds of legal
Ngomezulu
minds.
is dealing with the trial within a trial.
Yes.
But dealing with the trial within a trial does not limit you when people are playing dirty. You've got to play dirty too. So that you fast forward this thing.
Okay, let's look over what happened today in court. Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Let me get into these things, okay? The state apologized for the late start as accused number 2 arrived late. Advocate Tulani Mgomezulu continued to cross-examine Brigadier Gininda. He requested to cross-examine Gininda on the AVL, or the car tracking report, on the 19th. Advocate Baloyi read the record. This is the 19th of June 2020. So for those that I don't mention the month and the year, that's where we are. And Advocate Baloyi read the record with regard to the question he put to Sergeant Mohani on the 7th of November 2023, where he was cross-examining on the car that transported accused number 2 being at Moroka police station versus the engine garage at Alberton. And Advocate Baloyi did not find anything that supported that it was said that the beating occurred at Moroka police station. Okay, he went through the record. What was the sole purpose of all that whole shenanigan and stunt that he was pulling in the morning? Because that was not what was being argued, right? And we remember yesterday where they were saying that the beating happened at Moroka police station instead of Alberton engine garage. And he said that the accused number 2 had said that, had put it on the record.
Yes.
And this morning he was reading the record, but nothing like that came up.
Yeah.
He now changed his argument to say that a version was put that the incident occurred on the 19th en route to Moroka police station. And that's not what he said yesterday.
In all honesty, Gomezulu proved that this man is lying, according to me.
Yes.
But the judge
It just brushed.
was interested in what this man had to say further, which is deviating from what is being
Yes.
proven here. Let's congratulate Mgomezulu for bringing him back. Hey, come back here. We are going to deal with this. We are going to dance on this issue until you understand
Until we
why I
come
say you are not worth to be trusted.
Well, Mgomezulu said that the date was never in dispute. The version put to Sergeant Mokhane is not in dispute. It has been put to Sergeant Mokhane that on the 19th, accused number 2 was assaulted. It did not end on the 19th. He was assaulted even on the 24th. And the judge received clarity that the accused claimed to have been made to sign confessions that were already written. And Mgomezulu said that he was going to canvass the reason why there was continued assault with the witness. And that was the point of his cross-examination.
In an instance, we are fighting against a judge. We are fighting against
The state.
the states and almost everyone. You are all alone.
Ramosepeli was not in court today, so Mgomezulu kind of struggled to pull the records from the 6th of November 2023. He even asked his PA to come a little bit closer to him because he later revealed that he has a sight problem and that the judge was under the impression that he had, he's the kind of person that doesn't like wearing glasses. Saying that in our
The
community,
clever ones who say they don't.
yes, our community people who wear glasses are shunned upon or something like that. But then Gomezulu said that glasses actually exacerbate the situation, so they make his eyes worse. So
Clear
remember,
understanding would just help. In most cases, this judge has jumped the gun and assumed the worst about whatever that is happening in some of this defense. A clear understanding is important so that you don't sound like a fool, for the lack of a better word, who's trying to second guess or guess whatever that is being said and figure it out in your own. Listen, let a person finish why that was the case. Ask it, get an answer, and then from there make your remarks. Then making your remarks, and then later on be clarified. Because that is a sort of a narcissist behavior.
So remember how yesterday we said that it felt like we were hallucinating about Mokhane implicating accused number 2 in an illegal substances case?
Yes.
Turns we were not hallucinating at all because the record spoke for itself, you guys. It was read by the interpreter.
This case, if you think that you're just gonna follow it and I'm telling you, you probably believe everything they say.
Yes.
So you need to always listen and compare what you have had. If your memory is that good, compare what you have had before. Yeah, I see those deja vu moments. It does have a lot of them where you feel like I've had this. I've had this.
Yes.
And it couldn't have been just
and
a dream.
it will quickly slip, which is what Ramosepeli, in my opinion, was struggling with.
Yeah.
Gomezulu proves to see that, you know what, he can actually recall exactly what was said and how it was said. Whereas Ramosepeli used to struggle a lot with this. They would ambush
that's why,
his cross-examination.
Yes. When they just challenge this defense, they just barge in most of the time. When they say, did they say that? Did they say that? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
This is how that's an
go.
approach of a judge. And once a judge says that, my lord, I will not canvass that any
Phela
further.
mina ngiyalalela.
Phela mina ngiyalalela. What we have realized is that phela mina ngiyalalela is actually 50% of the time
Yes.
wrong.
Yes.
Alleged.
And it's honestly human. You cannot recall detail for detail what was said.
Hence,
That
he
is
had to
impossible.
mark today with that red pen that it says the mark, and go and
It's
listen
impossible.
again.
This case is not a case that was gonna take 2 weeks. Maybe with cases that take 2 weeks, you are able to
Your
recall.
memory lag is gonna last obviously for 2 weeks, but further than
But for
that,
this
a
one,
month, 2 months, no way.
you can't be that confident to shais because you remember every single detail, exactly how it was said and where it was said according to your understanding. I'm not saying according to my understanding, I'm like take a deep breath. I'm getting annoyed. Then Mgomezulu referred Gininda to the records, okay? And I quote, coming from the record, Mr. Mohani was saying that case 543 of June 2020. And he said, I remember that was the case. Let me say he was not charged. And then that's where they stopped. Okay. Mgomezulu then continued to cross-examine advocate Brigadier Gininda, and he asked, so it is your first time to hear about the docket 534 of illegal substance possession charge for accused number 2? And Gininda said, no, it's not the first time. He said that he was not sure of the case number. Sergeant Mohani is the IO investigating officer, and if that's the docket number, then he's away. But yesterday he said
the guy dismissed it. Like,
he doesn't know it. He doesn't
remember of such. Doesn't remember it.
Today he's saying that's not what he said.
The fact that it's even written in whatever book that his diary book. Yet you have denied it. Like 100% denied it. Hey, he's smart.
Now, Gininda now wanted to deviate Mgomezulu from continuing on this aspect of illegal substances case and said that yesterday it was put to him that the vehicle, Toyota Fortuner, on the 24th, and he said, I think it's in dispute concerning that. Let me check my records. And Mr. Mgomezulu wanted to stop him, but the judge said, Mgomezulu, please, with that whole gesture thing, let him explain what he wants to explain. He's deviating away
Which
from
was
the
deviating, 110% deviating.
That illegal substance case is very important to accused number 2.
Because that's the one that at some point kept accused number 2 as the case that was pending for this Danzig guy. Yes.
And now they just wanted to brush quickly run over. Let's go to the Toyota Fortuner now. No.
We're going there.
No, we are coming here.
Take your sweet time. Yeah, I hear people saying, hey, this guy is wasting time. Nicha, hey, ningoba vele, nidlu poison. What are you rushing to? Udlu poison, uzugcine la emqaleni, but ujahile. Vele, you are eating a lot of garbage in any case.
The state is not in a rush. Why must the defense be in a rush? They must unpack this. They must unpack everything. So
why
that
are you in a
sense.
hurry?
And it's beginning to make sense now. It's starting to make sense. So what was happening in 2020 before these guys were arrested, and as they were arrested, what exactly was taking place? It's starting to take a shape now.
Relax. Let Mgomezulu stand there and dance with this man. I know
He's
you.
He's very important.
I know you. I know you, Mr. Gininda. I know you. You heard him saying that. Yeah. The guy knows him.
Yeah, he knows him. So.
Let them have this moment of, it's been a while.
And you can see, Gininda penduli next.
Because if you just go in Gininda, there are people who does not like much thinking, and listening to people. They would believe Gininda. Wow.
He's so spot on. I'm even seeing on social media, a lot of people are sold. Eh?
Yes.
They're thinking,
hence we need this time. One person in, because this is going to take an hour maybe or so.
He's not going to take a long time.
Let this guy dance. We've got our support.
Marinate him. Why not? I think he's the final witness for the trial within a trial.
Open all the loopholes. Touch where you need to touch. Bring any proxy evidence that you need to bring, like the one that you brought today in terms of the mastermind theory. The theory that I, for one, do not believe.
Well, the judge supported Gininda's claims about the vehicle being parked in Benoni on the 24th, and he said that's how he understood the evidence. That's how I understand the evidence. I'm like, why are you speaking on behalf of the witnesses?
Let's relax.
Let the witnesses speak for themselves.
Ujaheni.
Well, the AVL expert also said that, and Ngomezulu said, with due respect, he is coming there. He's gonna tackle the AVL issue. Okay?
Don't force my hand.
Still busy with what happened in Vosloorus.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked, may I not be disturbed? Brigadier, I'll come to the issue of yesterday, because yesterday you denied having knowledge of the dockets of Vosloorus under 534. And Gininda denied this, saying that that's not correct. He said, I was asked the case reference number, not that I was aware of the accused taken to appear at Vosloorus.
Yes, guys. Thank you.
This is giving very much... You know those people that lie so well? I'm not saying that he's lying, but it's giving me that, sometimes
but
when
what do you
you're
say
arguing
about
with
someone
a person and you feel like you are the one
who's wrong? Yes. What do you say about someone who denies what they said yesterday? Just deny it.
With boldness and a bold chest. That is scary. That is so scary. Like, how can you...
After so much time of going back and
even pulling the record.
and
you are still denying.
And someone comes and brushes it off and says, no, but I thought this is what you were saying. Yes, guys, like the video. True. Thank you, DJ Oz.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you. And that is so scary. That to me, like, gave me the creeps. That this, you can still deny even after the proof or the supporting evidence is being shown, and you still lie with such a bold conviction. It's kind of scary. Okay, guys, I don't know about you, but night creeps me out. So, yeah, and obviously that was a lie, because yesterday he did say that he did not know about this case, 534. And Ngomezulu asked to listen to the record from yesterday, and Gininda responded in confidence, saying that, yes, we can listen to the record.
In the court was?
And Ngomezulu said, sir, I'm putting it to you that you had a conversation with Sergeant Mohani with relation to transporting accused number 2 to Vosloorus. And Gininda said, when, my lord? Ngomezulu said, on the 18th. And Gininda said, yes, I was aware they are going to Vosloorus court. Ngomezulu said, my concern is with reference to you denying knowledge about the case of accused number 2 relating to illegal substances. And Gininda said, that's not true. Counsel is misunderstanding me. There was no denial that I was aware that accused number 2 was taken to court. That's not the question that was put to me. A question was put about a specific case number. I was asked about a specific case number. It's not my case. I can't remember from the top of my head, but that accused number 2 was taken to Vosloorus court. I'm aware, and I've testified about it in my evidence in chief. There was never a denial. Oh, but there was. And why didn't he want Ngomezulu to go back to the record and listen to it? It felt like there's no need, I don't want you to go back to the... That's how it felt like to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the interpreter read the record where Sergeant Mohani was testifying to confirm that accused was taken even though the matter was not placed on the roll. They took him and left him and never released him. They went back to Moroka police station with him. Remember where Sergeant Mohani was testifying that they went back to look for the keys or something like that. That was the time they were supposed to release him, but they were not releasing him. Why?
They went to look for the keys to release him.
But they were supposed to release him.
Maybe the keys was for releasing him.
Not for once did they even consider releasing him. Because even if from Mohani's evidence in chief, you could hear that there was no intention of releasing him.
If the judge was a judge of today, not post 1994, that was going to also be important to determine this case. But I can tell you, in my own understanding, it seems as if that's a small small fish, small
I
nyana
don't think
fish.
he
Doesn't
cares
care.
about that, no. Mgomezulu wanted for the record to be listened to because Brigadier Gininda denied that he said he did not know about the 534 case, and the judge said he will have a look and listen to it himself alone. After what you've just experienced, you believe that he will listen to the right record
You
at
just
the right time
made
and
someone read the statement of someone who has passed on, just so that you can have in
narrative.
inverted commas a
Make the
proper
accused
understanding.
look awful.
Yes.
Make them look bad.
And you hear
make them
people-
look worse than they are.
Already from reading of that statement, it was no longer a trial within a trial.
Nah.
The judge putting that, saying, please read it all.
Yeah.
That part
So on the record, we have the accused. All of them are just
is
these
being
horrible-
named by this person
of
who's
them.
telling us,
Yes.
who's speaking through, God forbid, his grave, through the voice, Gininda's voice. Yes.
Hearsay. It was a hearsay statement that really painted the accused in this light. That they are hitmen. They go around with the weapons and advertising them, showing them to people like it's a spaza shop of firearms. And
Someone, we are told that a 22-year-old was the biggest deliver of firearms and
ammunition.
and also working at the same time. This person was just always at the right place.
And he
at the
was
right time.
always at Fos Loras for some weird reason. He was always at Fos Loras.
And visiting them. And
Yeah.
so there's nothing wrong with what happened yesterday in court. There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong, ne?
We just needed to know who was this mastermind.
Yeah,
We knew
been
it was
wanting
between
to
two
know.
people. We
Yes.
knew it was between two people. Initially, if you ask me, and if anything that I say was to go by, it was going to Mandisa's door. Why? I don't know. But it was going there initially.
It felt that way. With me, it also felt that way, that it seems like they're
Hence,
trying
we had to say it because we saw this was coming. And then, voila. The witness, certain witness was dropped. That's where the problem started.
The one that Defo was talking about.
The witness, therefore called them a bluff for me. If you understood what he was doing, when he said it was Kelly who shot Senzo.
Oh, remember he said that.
He did that on purpose.
Why? Why?
He
do you
wanted to
think he did that?
provoke for someone to speak.
Could it have been Kelly herself? Could it have been Kelly herself?
No, he wanted probably a response from Kelly. He got it because every day Mansami was always in court. He got the
Mansami.
response that he wanted. But then here comes the problem. Problem started following him. The bad omen.
No, of saying that in court. He said it's unprofessional,
people
blah, blah, blah.
started reporting.
And people started reporting, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's like doing a bad video here. People reporting masses.
Yes,
Yeah, so that's what happened. In my own thinking, obviously. And then from there, whatever agreement could have been there between the people who were in the house and the people who were dealing with the case, allegedly, something broke. And then that thing broke, and then people were like, no, man.
It was every man for themselves.
Yeah, every man for himself. We'll give you this one. That's my thinking.
That's your speculation. Let's put it on the record. It's Mr. Anonymous' speculation, all right? We
Now,
are allowed.
does it-
This is the court of public opinion. We're
Does
allowed
it
to
compensate
share our
for
opinions.
does it compensate for grievances? If you ask me, with a bit of collateral damage, it does. In a sense, most people who are Senzo's fans like us will probably be okay and forget about the others who took a fall, and maybe we will console ourselves to say some of them, 90% of them, either way, they were gonna be there. Do you understand?
Yes.
And then, yeah, we forget about it.
Then
So the damage is almost 10% in a sense if you look at it. Say, Ntanzi really, they don't have anything, seemingly, you know. There's nothing. So why is it important that it must be people that we are not going to care about? People whom you think already they are guilty. If someone says, oh, this one actually asked me, and then you like, it is that one very kumfanele, that one. You see that theory of kumfanele, it suits him. It kills that consciousness of saying that. But did he do it?
It doesn't even matter, right?
You know,
whether he did it.
Now the problem with Ntanzi, they haven't gotten to that point. Hence, the estimation of 30 cases that he could be facing, which now takes you to that point of saying, this man is almost worse than Untuli. But the problem is that it has not sticked. The court has been striking these cases off the roll.
Which is very interesting. So Mgomezulu then asked, it's apparent that there was a pending case for accused number 2. According to your evidence, accused number 2 was arrested on a charge of murder for Kwanongoma. And now it's apparent that there was a pending case in Vosloorus. It is your evidence that both matters were placed on the roll. And Gininda said, which record? He said that his understanding of a pending matter, it's a matter that's on the roll already. And the Nongoma case was not placed on the roll. So they arrested him for a case that was not placed on the roll. And when it's not placed on the roll, still they hold on to him.
Using what? The case of legal substances.
Illegal substances. Also, it was thrown out.
The ammunition one did not stick.
They still kept him even after the ammunition.
The ammunition one did not stick because they didn't have search warrant.
Warrant of arrest. A warrant of search. And they still kept him.
They still kept him. Because of the 30 invisible
guys, we can't normalize
cases.
This. We cannot normalize this. This is not normal. I don't understand in what world this... Why is this judge still continuing with this? I don't understand. Then Mgomezulu said, was it not your evidence that the Nongoma case was not placed on the roll? And Gininda said, yes, it was my evidence. Accused number 2, when he was taken to Vosloorus, the case of Pukeng did not exist at the time. When a decision was taken not to enroll the matter, Gininda said that he agreed. And after another long session of talking, he clearly didn't want to answer this question specifically, but we eventually got the answer, and he said that he does agree. Advocate Mshololo placed the same question to Sergeant Mohani under his cross-examination, asking why he was not released after the matter was struck off the roll. And he said that, it reminded me of last year when Gomezulu was narrating accused number 2's version, that he said that when they were traveling with him back to Pukeng, Rustenburg, he was under the impression that he was getting released.
Do you understand?
Since the illegal substance case was struck off the roll, and the Nongoma case was also struck off the roll. But turns out they went inside his shack with no such warrant and found a black plastic bag
which
with
is common
ammunition
between the two accused 1 and accused 2. Very common. The substance issue, illegal substance, it's also common between the two of them.
Don't you guys find that suspicious? It's very sus. Very, very, very sus. So Mgomezulu then said, my concern is immediately after that decision was made, was accused number 2 not supposed to be released? And Gininda said that he was released, but where is the proof of him being released? Where can you indicate in the form of paperwork? I'm sure there's some paperwork that's filed when a person is released, right, from incarceration. There's some form of paperwork. Where is it?
Nothing.
So from then, another investigation started where they found the black plastic bag of ammunition. And he said, my understanding is that if you are released on this matter, then literally the police must let you go if they want to pursue certain things and then start all over again. This is Gininda now trying to defend himself. So according to Gininda, they had the right to hold accused number 2 hostage until they were done with their investigations.
Yes.
Is that constitutional? Is that right?
It is. At some point, you can be held against that, so that if they feel that you interfere,
but isn't that
it
for
must
a
be
case
done
that's already open,
rolling?
Isn't that for such a case, not a case that's been struck off the roll?
Not when they're still investigating to get you having at that level of having the case, and that case is rolling.
Mgomezulu then said, that is why we are going to place it before this honorable court, and we are going to show this court that during the arrest and after the matter was released on the roll, accused number 2 was still under unlawful detention. So when accused number 2 was booked back in Pretoria North, there's an occurrence book, Mgomezulu was struggling to find the exhibit, and Gininda said that the one that he had was that of a theft case. So Mgomezulu asked the judge if they can adjourn so that he gets his documents in order. There was a short adjournment, and after they came back, Mgomezulu said when the confession was taken on the 19th of June, was it morning or afternoon? And Gininda said it was taken in the morning. Mgomezulu then asked, when were you given it? And Gininda said a day or 2 later. He said he had to go to Colonel Rapadu's office a day later. Mgomezulu then asked, when the matter was not placed on the roll, was it your decision to let Sergeant Mohani and Sergeant Mabena take the accused to Rustenburg? And Gininda said the confession was made in the morning, so I was aware of the outcome. Gininda said that he was aware that he was being taken to Phokeng as investigators were doing further investigations. Gininda also added that there was still an investigation on a hoodie that police still had to do. This version corroborates Mohani's claim that after court they traveled to Phokeng to look for a hoodie
only
that they
to
may
find
have been
themselves
used
ammunition
in Meyiwa's case, only to find a black plastic bag with ammunition. So yeah, that is what happened. And Gininda contended that Ntanzi was released on the Nongoma case that day. So he said what continued after that was an interview of the accused in relation to other matters. Mgomezulu then asked, when it comes to interviewing the accused, especially on the alibi and admissions, did you record the interview with the accused? And Gininda said, my lord, I did make entries in my diary, and the copies of those entries were given to the defense. Gininda said that he did have knowledge that Ntanzi was taken to Phokeng to investigate the hoodie. He said that it was part of their investigation, so he saw no issues there. Mgomezulu then said, going to Phokeng, was there a search warrant? And Gininda said no. So you will not be surprised as to why accused number 2 was acquitted at the Tlhabane court due to the fact that there was no warrant of search.
And you tell me Mgomezulu doesn't do his homework.
Oh. Amongst other reasons why he had to be acquitted. Gininda says, so my investigation team, because I was not inside, the local police and my investigation team went inside. We did not go there to look for
distancing
ammunition.
himself from doing the wrong things.
Remember, there were allegations that he was in a car, something like that. Remember that during the cross-examination of Mohani and Mohola.
And it was denied.
Said, yes.
When Tanzi said he was there, they find him there. Do you remember that?
Yes, and it was denied.
It was denied.
It was denied, but Mohola, I think it's Mohola who's finally succumbed to say that he was there. Well, we did not go there to look for ammunition. No one knew that ammunition would be found. That's why I didn't testify and I didn't submit a statement as well. So I don't know what reasons were given to make to the court. Mgomezulu then asked, so currently this case is of murder. Is the only case that accused 2 is facing currently? And Gininda said yes, but there are other cases that will be brought to court. It's been 2 years of him being incarcerated, guys. It's been 2 years.
Remember what I said to you? I said to
It's
you...
not even 2 right now. We're sitting at 4. It's 2024. We are going on 4.
I said to you, you will do well. Not that it will save you. Not to have your fingerprints there. Do you understand? Yeah. Once you have your fingerprints there, the day they want you, they will take Mate's case and plug it into you.
And insert you somehow.
And your fingerprints are there. Then all they need is the system, and they always have the system in any case.
This is scary. Mgomezulu moved on to the alleged confession of accused number 1 and 2. And he asked, have you taken a confession before? And Gininda said, yes, it's part of police training. And also he trained at university when he studies law and law-related issues of confessions and so forth is covered.
We don't. What I thought Mgomezulu would ask is, have you finished that degree? Are you practicing? So please don't use that.
Ngomezulu then said, was Mboto a qualified person to take that confession? Was he not meant to appoint another person? And Gininda said, no, he did not discuss the case with Mboto. Somehow, in my opinion, I doubt that, especially since they were already talking prior to making Tanzi take that confession. There was already prior communication. So
he is denying that he was talking to, he did not know this guy. He just, where did you get his number?
Where did you get his number? And yesterday he did say that he talked to him prior. You know, and then all of a sudden he's trying to spin it to say, no, the only reason he contacted him was because he needed the confession to be taken down. But I cannot forget what you initially said when you said you've talked to him before.
See, the only thing that can satisfy people in this case and in bringing the name that was brought today is they get to hear the other side of the story that they couldn't have had if a certain person was not implicated. The jabs that were thrown in the social media streets to the family and everyone else. Now you get to reach that point where people are going to be ready to speak. And the DPP office also must answer as to now why, because the whole 5 gang that is there, they took that gang through someone's hearsays. Why is Kelly needing more investigation? Is that an issue of all animals are equals but others are more equal than others? Or why is it not there?
Why? So secondly, he said that Mboto was a colonel and a justice of peace, so he was allowed to take confessions. I don't think that is what was in dispute here.
No.
It's not the professionalism of Mboto. And
it was the
capabilities.
whether the person who's peace officer, is he compromised because he had prior knowledge of the case, and people can ignore that part.
Yeah.
Through this judge, it's possible. Now the judge is looking at whether you qualify or not, forgetting
and
that
shifting. I feel like they're shifting the
they
argument.
did shift the
say
argument.
that you already knew about the details somehow, somewhere. You know, even if you may deny it, but it's hard to believe that you were not communicating prior to making Danzi take a confession. You understand? That is the argument. And somehow the judge is shaping it to say that was Mboto even qualified.
And that's what he wants to hear, the answers that he wants to hear. He's not listening to the whole submission in the case. Please like the video, guys.
We are tired.
Very.
When it comes to this judge, I'm exhausted. So Mgomezulu then said, I doubt you didn't disclose the merits of the case with Mboto. Was Mboto the right person to take down the confession for accused number 2? Was he not supposed to appoint another person? And Gininda said, no, I did not discuss this case with Mboto. Secondly, Mboto was a colonel and a justice of peace, so he's allowed to take confessions. Gininda said, by virtue that Mboto is a colonel and that allows him to take confessions. So Mgomezulu then said Colonel Mboto was not supposed to take the confession, but get an independent person to do it, not in terms of the credentials, but in terms of the procedure. And Gininda said Mboto is a commissioned officer and can
Answering
take the
the wrong
confession.
The wrong thing.
Let's look at an example of what happened with Ndanzi, for example. There was a magistrate, right?
Yes.
Who was, we can say, impartial, because there's no record of Gininda calling that magistrate. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Someone
with
else
Mboto,
called.
it's different because Gininda is the one who called him. And you can't tell us that they didn't discuss the case. I don't believe that.
That is a gist of the submission that was given by Mgomezulu.
Yes,
he was trying to submit to that
they
direction,
didn't
but they
wanna
swayed to the issue of professionalism. Is he qualified? Is he supposed to? Does he have the certificate and whatnot? Where is that coming from? Because we are not questioning whether this person can be able to act as a peace officer. Yes.
And he even said that Ramusipili never queried the credentials of Mboto. But the credentials of Mboto was not in dispute here. Please, help. Somebody help.
So someone is saying is confused. Is this a robbery gone wrong, or this is a planned contractual?
Contract killing.
Yes.
It's a contract killing according to the investigation.
Yes, as Gininda would say, it is purported as
A robbery.
a robbery gone wrong, but in a sense, my lord, it is actually a contract killing.
Purported.
I'm using the words correct.
Well, Ramusipili never queried the credentials of Mboto, but Mgomezulu said that he was not querying the credentials. What he was saying is important in terms of the procedure after he received the information from Colonel Gininda that somebody wants to make a confession. He was not supposed to take a confession. Colonel Mboto was supposed to get an independent somebody who was going to meet with the person who wants to make a confession independently, which is somewhat what happened with Ndanzi and the magistrate, right? The lady magistrate, what was her name? I forgot.
But then the submission on that is that because then Ndanzi agreed to actually turn on these people and be a state witness, that's why the magistrate was introduced.
Oh. So the judge asked Gininda if he's able to take confessions, and he said yes. He said that he as he is listening to him, he said he wanted an independent person. He reassured that there is nothing barring Gininda from taking that confession, and Gininda said that he knew that. So the judge was basically saying that even Gininda himself could have taken that confession. So assertion by Mgomezulu is that Mboto must get another person, and Gininda said it's not the law. Commission officer is independent. Mgomezulu accused Gininda of being a person of interest in this matter, and the judge said that there is no law that is stopping Gininda from taking that confession, but they can argue until Pitlat Quom. So Mgomezulu said in relation to section 217, especially where it deals with the justice of peace, it relates to the person conferred with such powers under section 334 of
The Afrikaans-speaking people should be proud of this church.
Gininda said
they should be proud.
I don't think so. Is Afrikaans, now that I was listening to it, it's not that good. It's not. You were right. Yeah, I remember you told me that his Afrikaans is not even that good. It's not. He just likes speaking in Afrikaans. So Gininda said he had not read that provision. He knows that justice of the peace and commission officers are the ones who can take a confession. Colonel Mboto is a justice of peace, and he had a legal right to take that confession. So the question I now have is, Colonel Mboto, did he even have a choice in this matter to say no?
Yes, if he was busy.
And refer it to someone else.
Yes.
Mgomezulu said he has a witness that will come and testify to this. And Advocate Baloyi read that section 334 talking about the minister appointing peace officers. I don't know what the relevance was. You guys don't ask me. I don't know.
They are still talking about whether a person is qualified to actually do that or not. They are forcing it through as if Mgomezulu was asking about that.
The judge spoke again to say Mboto showed his letter of appointment. Mgomezulu now moved to accused number one's arrest. And immediately after his arrest, he was taken to Vosloorus until he met Gininda. When he met Gininda, he did not have the time to relax or think about his arrest. That same day, they made this confession. They made him confess. On the same day they arrested him. Remember how they were narrating the arrest, about how there were vans. There were vans there was a car that was parked, and then two cops got out and bought bananas and milk, and then all of a sudden there's this bunch of people that came with guns and SWAT. Is it SWAT? He said they made them lie on the floor, they flipped them, they held them with their pants, and it was so dramatic how he was explaining it. So on that same day, after all of that happening and you're getting arrested like that, you are made to confess. So this is what he was arguing. Then Gininda said, when I met him, I didn't see any signs of distress. The question is, did you want to see the signs of distress?
You were biased. You were already interested in whatever that was happening in this case.
You know, did you even want to see those signs of distress? You didn't. I don't think you wanted to see them. That's my opinion.
I would ask him, how do you recognize a person who's
in distress?
Who's in distress? How do you recognize that person? What are the signs?
You should have asked him that. Ne? How would you know if I've been slapped this morning? By looking at me right now.
I will give you subsequently, my lord.
I even asked members who brought him to move away so that I could determine if he was assaulted. There were no signs of that also. And in the 30 minutes he was with him in his car, he never showed any signs of discomfort. And Mgomezulu referred Brigadier Gininda to a person of interest. There is no reason for him to be biased, he said. And Mgomezulu said, I will argue that your evidence is irrational. You are biased. What is expected of you being the investigating officer was not to keep him with you. The second reason why I'm saying this, accused 1 and 2 in places where confessions happened were transported by investigators of the same case. And they were. That is a fact. They even testified to that. Like Sergeant Mohani. He said, I submitted that the investigating officer was not supposed to be closer to the accused persons when they took a confession. Am I wrong? Pella, one would argue that this was some kind of intimidation with it. I mean, the very same people investigating you are the same people that are accompanying you to go make that confession. So Gininda then said, you are wrong when you say, I am a person of interest. And the judge giggled there. My understanding of a person of interest is something totally different. So it's totally wrong. That's what Gininda said. And the judge said a person of interest is a suspect, according to the English that they are using in the court of Judge
Even in that court, it has not been declared a legal or a formal word. It's just a word that exists there that is using that. It's not a formal word. Because we get all these things from America, yet it is not declared. It is mainly used for that.
Mainly used for suspects.
Yes.
But it's not declared that it means a suspect.
That is not a formal way.
Oh. You can even say that it's a person of interest. The person you are interested in is a person of interest.
He
right?
was not wrong, Ngomezulu. Just that, I mean, you
The
understood that
English police.
eh,
Ngomezulu said that it might be mistakenly said and it might be interpreted differently. The word has been erroneously used and no one should capitalize on it. And he said, let me withdraw with my poor English. I was like, Yane. Gininda then apologized to say that he's in court and what he says and agrees to can be misinterpreted as something he did not say or agree to.
And I repeat, this is just was made a big deal, and the judge, Mr. No English too, is just out of line here because this could have been contested for long. This is not a formal word.
You know what it's giving? It's giving, I want to frustrate the defense.
Exactly.
I want to stop Ngomezulu from his train of
Exactly.
thought. That's what it's giving. I'm not saying that that's what he's doing, but that's what
it is
it's
giving that. We are not saying that that's what he's doing, but
No.
it is just based on our opinion.
It's
Looks
giving.
like that.
Let me stop him before he gets hot. He's warming up. Let me just distract him with his imperfect English. Let me giggle while he's... How do you work under such conditions, guys? Please explain. There's a lot of black professionals that I know might be going through this nonsense. You know, like... And then they say be emotionally intelligent or whatever the case is. It's annoying. Having a judge laughing as you're busy asking or framing a question. It's so annoying. So Mgomezulu queried about the affidavit that was read in court on Monday, the one Gininda used to apply for a warrant of arrest. And Mgomezulu talked about the part of the affidavit where accused number 2 was boasting as a result that led to the investigation leading up to his arrest. That information came to you for the first time on the 23rd of October 2020, or it's something that you got it before. And Gininda said that he got it before he made the application. So Gininda maintained that Sibia was a person of interest long before his arrest. He said his unit conducted a cold case analysis around him, and when they approached him, he knew of their involvement in the Senzo Meyiwa murder. So Section 217, confession or statement made by accused number 1 can only be admissible for accused number 1, not for the other accused. So that was knowledge there, like a sprinkle of knowledge there to say that once somebody has confessed, they cannot now impose that statement on the other people who are implicated to say that it's a confession. No, it's for the person that confessed. It's that mission.
Meaning, if accused number 1 confessed and implicated accused number 2, they shouldn't have charged accused number 2 on the basis of this guy's confession.
That is why the whole making up of the Nongoma case and the ammunition case and this is they couldn't directly say just because Muzi said you were there on his confession statement.
They will arrest you without any proof.
It would have been not good. So Gininda said he made numerous and various affidavits, and Mgomezulu requested that one of the affidavits be read by Brigadier Gininda for Gininda to read it himself. So in the post-lunch sitting, we heard another affidavit that the defense has asked Gininda to read, and the state asked that certain parts of that affidavit not be read into the record. Advocate George Baloy said a paragraph from one of Gininda's affidavits or statements should not be read. He said it will be unfair for the persons to hear their names in court when they haven't been given an opportunity to respond. We therefore request that paragraph 5 or 6 not be read. The statement in question was made by Gininda, and Ngomezulu said that it pertains to the people involved in the commission of the alleged crime. And Baloy said we maintain this information is irrelevant for a trial within a trial, but further, we feel it will be unfair for any individual to hear their name in court without being given an opportunity to represent themselves. We submit this cannot be allowed. So how is it irrelevant if the mastermind is not implicated and the mastermind should be accused number 6?
Theory completed if you don't have the mastermind?
How is it complete without the mastermind? How? Make it make sense. So the judge said he has been lax in applying the law because he's being told that he is interfering. He said that he has allowed so much leeway, people bringing evidence that has nothing to do with the concept of a trial within a trial.
You see, when you talk about an example of someone applying the rules of post-1994, and he tells you about it first, he says, they used to decide in our times.
Yes.
And he's doing exactly that. He's doing exactly that. And you want to be praised for letting the case flow when it does flow at some point. Oh, we're not going to praise you. You're doing your work when you need to.
Well, he said that this is a circumscribed interlocutory application for the trial within a trial. Don't ask me what that means. I don't know. And once you have used that evidence in the trial within a trial, you may possibly not use it in the general trial. So who might not use that?
Okay.
Is it the defense or the state or both parties?
Both. So what they're saying is that once, let's say the issue of what we are going through now, this trial within a trial, where we are testing evidence, whether it's legit, it was taken in the right way or not. You cannot use it as your defense to say that once this passes on a trial within a trial and we accept everything and say, okay, the judge rules that this evidence was taken in a rightful way, then it becomes therefore part of the main trial. So you cannot go there and say, I was coerced to actually have. Once they accept it, obviously, they have closed that loophole. That's basically what it means.
Okay. So the judge said that he doesn't know what Mngomezulu is trying to prove from this. He has gone to the Antarctic, mentioning the affidavit that was read yesterday about the boasting. But he's not the one who introduced that affidavit.
You said it must be read.
He's the one who said it must be read. Right? And he said that he didn't want to stop him. When he adjudicates the matter, he will be guided by the details of the trial within a trial. He said, I can't stop you from doing what you want to do because I will be told that I'm interfering. You were interfering when you kept telling people what to do. It was interference. So I don't know.
You still do it even today.
What he's trying to imply.
Just as you're minimal. It's minimal.
Yeah, now he's in minimal. So is it safe to say that Mngomezulu was kind of wrapping this case up? Is it safe to say that, Mr. Anonymous?
It is. It is. If you are going to claim that this case is based on a mastermind contractual killing, then have it on the table.
Everything
on
once
the table.
Once and for all.
Yes.
We've been playing this duck and dive.
Thank you, Mizzy.
We've been ducking and
Thank
diving.
you for your donation.
We've been like this for the last 2 years. Is it 2 years even? Since 2022. It's been like duck and diving. We don't know what is not, what is. It's been 2 years, guys. Oh my God, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years. It just hit me now, Mr. Anonymous. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Mugwatleng said that Mngomezulu should prove the statement before it's being read into the record. And Mngomezulu went on to ask Gininda if he's the one who made the statement, if he's the one who signed it, and he agreed. And the judge asked Mngomezulu to lay the basis of that statement. So yeah, he had to do all that nitty-gritty. And he said that he did not read it after writing it to the satisfaction of the contents because he's the one who wrote it himself. So what he's literally saying, in my understanding, is that he just writes, and he never proofreads what he writes. Is that what he's saying?
The good writer. This is what we are finding out now. I mean, what is happening in court shows the skills that he has when it comes to writing. You can take certain characters.
So he read the affidavit, you guys. Let's quickly go over it. Of course, I didn't cover everything, but I covered the highlights, what I consider highlights. It initially appeared that it was a robbery gone wrong. Witness statements under oath indicated that 2 black males entered the house demanding cell phones and money, purporting to be a house robbery. 7 adults and 1 child were present in the house when the accused entered. The witness stated that one of the suspects was carrying a firearm purporting to be a revolver.
I underlined that.
Why did you underline it?
Because later on, as you continue reading to that, it does default back to
The pistol.
the revolver that shot Senzo. That's what they're saying.
Oh.
So there is no other gun that they're saying was there in that house.
Okay.
Other than the revolver. And that was the initial theory. Then later on, they introduce a pistol. Yeah. So, but reading this statement, it says the person who had this pistol was what? Is Marcos.
Carlos.
Carlos. Carlos.
Accused number 3.
And that's the person they said shot Senzo, right?
Yes.
So if he had a revolver, where would he have gotten the pistol then?
Maybe he was holding 2 of them.
So we're
Maybe he had
back.
2 firearms.
Then that begs the question, then why is the pistol being tested by ballistic people and matching the revolver?
Yeah, ne?
We're back to square one.
Yeah, ne? Guys, I'm having a headache. There's too much thinking. There's too much. So narrating the story, we already know. This is the part that I was just felt like we already know the details, blah 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 blah. And I said, you know what? Let me start covering it here, where he said that accused number 1 boasted to individuals close to him, closely associated with him in KZN homelands, as to his involvement together with Mafika, Carlos, Mapisa, and Nkani into the killing of the deceased. A dispute ensued between these individuals, and closely associated individuals disclosed to the SAPS the admission the accused made to them. The accused was further linked with circumstantial evidence wherein he, after the incident, made disclosures and remarks at a family gathering he attended in Vosloorus as to the killing of Senzo.
Yes.
Even before the death was reported in the media, he is further linked by a formal confession he made to the commissioned independent officer on the 30th of May 2020. In this confession, he clearly implicates Miss Kelly Khumalo, the person who gave them the instruction to kill Senzo Meyiwa. The suspect further made a formal pointing out the scene collection prior to the incident, the gathering of the outside of the house during the assassination, and the dropping off of the accused at the cell phone tower referred to above. The pointing out by these accused identified the exact scene, place, house where the deceased was shot. The accused identified the place, position he held when this offense was committed. It placed in terms of his pointing out is accurate, and it matches out the crime scene. The pointing out was made to another commissioned officer on the 6th of June 2020. And then he said that it's a mistake. It's actually the 5th of June. The accused was further linked by a witch doctor. He said he's a healer, ne? He's not the witch doctor, but he still insists on calling him a witch doctor. He attended prior and after the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. The said witch doctor's premises were identified by these accused after he said that the doctor was found. He said that the doctor was taken to our offices for interviews, and it was during this moment in the office that the witch doctor came across the accused. He said the doctor recognized the accused in his presence. Gininda said, in my presence, the witch doctor recognized the accused and said that he recalled also he once came with Mapisa from Vosloorus.
At some point, I thought that they were talking about the one that allegedly cleansed Kelly. The one that
Yes.
was done allegedly bitterization.
Yes.
Kanti they are still talking ngulomadala no.
Lion.
Aye.
Besa khuluma ngolion.
Aye.
Awunkosami.
Akuhambanga kahle.
So, but this accused denied the involvement of Mapisa and insisted to the witch doctor that he came only with Buthelezi brothers. At this stage of the investigation, the name of Mapisa is one of the suspects that was known to me, but it later became evident that this accused was hiding this presence of Mapisa to the police. So the accused was initially confronted with the identikit of the suspect with the dreadlocks as the person who resembles his looks. So initially they resembled accused number 1 as the first intruder with the dreads and gold teeth and short and was short.
And they didn't feel the beat. And then they move. They wanted, remember the narration by Menzisto saying that they actually wanted a picture of him in dreadlocks or something like that. That's why they went to Nongoma. They wanted a picture of him in 2014 to see if he never had dreadlocks. It is fitting. You know, when we say we're fitting the model, we are choosing the right one. That fits.
And then 90%. They wanted to know if he ever had a gold tooth. Turns out I don't think he also had a gold tooth. I don't know. I'm not sure. But the dreads, he never had dreads, according to the family and according also to their findings. So they couldn't find a picture of him in dreadlocks in 2014 or something like that.
Then he had to go. Then Carlos came in. In fact, Ndanzi came in. They took him to a doctor to check for
if he had a
gold tooth.
Yes.
Which would fit a shooter, right?
Yes.
Because the shooter had a gold tooth.
Yes.
And dreads.
Yes.
And it did not work. And then they took Carlos. Carlos, they didn't take him. Yeah, they didn't have to take him to the doctor.
No, they found it in the phone.
They found it in the phone.
They download the pictures of him. He had dreads.
Voila.
He had a gold tooth.
The investigation team, the intelligence of the cold case unit, managed to find a fit.
The accused was formally warned according to his constitutional rights prior to the questioning, and it was under these circumstances that he decided to make a confession, but clearly stating that he was not the shooter, but that he was standing outside. Right. He further indicated that Senzo was shot in the chest. He was confronted with this knowledge and how he knew the exact spot of the wound and if he didn't do it or was not in the house. He then implicated one, Marco Buthelezi. Oh, Buthelezi.
Marco Buthelezi, for those who are confused now, we are still talking about Carlos, right?
Carlos. Isn't he Ngube? His surname.
Yes, remember the Buthelezi boy.
Yes.
He's regarded as, is it Buthelezi boy, ne?
Yes.
Yeah. They're still talking about.
Oh, they're talking about number 3.
Yes.
Accused number 3.
Yes.
All right. I
think they didn't get the name here at this time.
I was like, now who's Marco Buthelezi now? And as the shooter and the person who told him, he further said he was willing to make a confession and pointing out the crime scene freely and voluntarily without any undue influence. Then he read that Bongani Ntanzi was identified as the person with the hoodie who initially stood outside and was seen running away after the incident. The involvement of this suspect was mentioned by suspect number 1 is equally involved in the killing of the deceased to the family of suspect number 1. The families are now being dragged into this. Yes, and the suspect was traced through information received and was confronted with the evidence available against him. He was, among other, confronted with clothes, and he was alleged to have worn the compiled identikit clothing. Accused number 2, he implicated Miss Kelly Khumalo as the person who gave the order to kill Senzo Meyiwa, the same firearm used for the Carlos Ngube case. the one of Alexandra that he was convicted for, is the same firearm used in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa.
Now you see they're talking
how
about
they
Carlos.
framing the word, yes, and how they are choosing to frame this. They're saying used in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. They're not being specific as to say it is the firearm that did the killing. I don't know if I'm the only one who's picking it up.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
They're not being specific that it is the firearm that took his life. No, they're saying that it was used in the incident. I found this choice of words very interesting. So the photos downloaded from his phone linked him to the description of the short one with dreadlocks who demanded cell phones and money. He's also the same suspect that shot the deceased. And all the accused are Zulu speaking and know each other. Photos were equally found of the murder weapon used in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, and a photo containing the exact bag of money similar to the one found in Miss Kelly Khumalo was found. Now this part I didn't understand what he was talking about. I'm like, what bag now? What bag of money? Miss Kelly Khumalo's bag was found. What is he saying? There's also another selfie taken by the accused which shows him having a gold tooth, and a gold tooth was one of the things that was noted by the witness. It is imperative to mention that the accused apparently does not have the gold tooth as well as the dreadlocks, but evidence shows that he had both in 2014, October 26th. Mapisa linked by a confession he made to a private person, a close friend, about his involvement in this matter. Oh, they do make confessions to private people a lot, don't they? Mapisa is arrested for ammunition and Senzo Meyiwa's murder. Upon the private person return discussing this information to suspect, Mapisa did instruct private person to return to and inform suspect Mafika not to disclose his involvement, as he, Mafika, will be assassinated. So this is what they're literally saying, that Mapisa was threatening Mafika, who is accused number 2. Mapisa is accused number 4. He was threatening Mafika to say that he must not implicate him in the Senzo Meyiwa case, otherwise he will take him out. So it was during this discussion that the suspect Mapisa confessed to a private person his involvement in the matter. Investigations revealed that the role of the suspect was to guard any unexpected people who may come in and outside of the house. He was also armed with a firearm. Yet Longwe Twala
managed to push the one in the door. He cruised nicely, moving out of the house in trying to find help, where he eventually forgot his phone, and then his phone was on the pockets eventually. Then subsequently, the phone was also found in his pockets, and yeah.
He ran through these incarcerations.
All of them.
With firearms. Who were looking for someone, who were guarding who was coming in and who's going out. He ran through them. Not only him, Togo as well. He jumped the wall.
Yes, guys, just like the video. Thank you, Malachi. We are 629 watching, and the video has only 325 people who have liked. So if you have not put your thumb there, please do. Please do.
Nduli is linked to the getaway silver polo, linked by cell phone analyst by means of a cell phone links to Miss Kelly Khumalo. The confession of Mafika, insofar as usage of vehicle refers to, is supported by independent witnesses confirming that the accused was seen driving the vehicle prior to and after the omittal of the offense. Now, the above suspects are also known as hitmen for taxi wars. 4 cell phone numbers that Nonhlanhla Kelly Khumalo did not disclose to the police when the incident took place. These numbers were discovered by the XDS system used by the cell phone analyst and linked to her activities. He gave the numbers. I did not take them down, no. Investigations also revealed that she's linked to the actual perpetrators of this murder by means of cell phone linkages. These linkages connect her to accused number 3 and number 5. Okay, it was further discovered that through her cell phone analyst that her cell phone memory album has the same photos of a see-through bag containing cash notes and in the exact position or location of Ncube. There is no reasonable explanation as to why Kelly will be in contact telephonically with a hitman or killers of the boyfriend and share the same pictures of a bag full of money. Where are those pictures?
Main trial.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not going to see them, obviously.
Obviously, because with the help of who's this? Mshololo. And I must say this. Remember how this thing started of us not being able to see those things.
Oh, yes, she did say
Mshololo
that.
was one of the
privacy,
people who
what.
assisted.
Yeah, she was arguing on helping the state.
The states, when they were
block us
friends,
from seeing
friend, it was all good. It was all good. Titi tried to fight this, saying that my clients have been seen.
They've been seen already.
Why now
Why
do
must
we
we
need to
protect these ones?
the other
now?
ones? Yes. It did not work.
Ah,
She was the one who reported, who was a good class rep, who reported the people who took pictures and whatnot.
the journalists. I feel so played. Communication records between her and her sister show that as early as 2013, she wanted to get rid of the deceased. As she put it, it is abundantly clear that she hated him and wanted to get rid of him. She further states that she regrets not succeeding in getting rid of him before. Taking into account all these facts, an inference can be drawn that she meant killing him. Cell phone records show that after the incident took place, she phoned a number of people from her phone, but no call was made to emergency services. Khumalo was also alleged to have gone to a witch doctor for a cleansing,
There we
as
go.
was also done by the accused in this matter.
That's what we are looking for. See, that one, girl, that's Sagoma. Ilona gelo omela kulum. Futhi lo kumela avikelwe lo. Engathi ngasuka kwi-witness protection. Avikelwe nje umphakathi impela. Impela. Yabona lo.
That one got a beating.
That one is got a score to circle that one. You put him nicely in a stand there and tell her that things are gonna be fine. You're protected. Don't worry. Tell us what happened.
So a statement for Mr. Mkhize, who is an expert in these matters, indicates that this is not normal or should not be done, especially if one is innocent. Yes. When one is innocent, you can't be going to cleansings immediately after the incident. That is kind of dodge.
Which Mkhize is this? Is that one off?
I think it's another one.
That one of Herbalist on TV?
Oh, you think that's Mkhize they asked?
I think so. I don't know.
That would be interesting. So evidence through sworn corroborating evidence established a close link between the offenders and the offenses of murder, robbery, and aggravated circumstances, possession of an unlicensed firearm, and unlawful possession of ammunition, and conspiracy to commit murder. So Ms. Khumalo seems to be the trigger point of this murder. Ngomezulu asked, did you take any discretion not to apply for a warrant of arrest against Ms. Kelly Khumalo? And Gininda said, no, I did not, my lord. It was this case prior to the application of the warrant that was made on the 23rd of October 2020. I've indicated in my evidence in chief that I made a memorandum to the DPP where I indicated all the evidence we had on all the implicated people, including Ms. Kelly Khumalo. She was there. A decision was taken at the time that these are the people that must be indicted, and that is accused 1 to 5. So he said, I cannot disclose further details, but there are certain things that needed to be looked into with Ms. Kelly Khumalo. Then the following month, when we covered some more grounds, then that's when we made the proposal again that this is where we are looking to, and we are making this proposal.
But allegedly,
Yeah.
Sangoma singer died.
Oh my goodness, so that Sangoma is gone.
We cannot be sure.
Allegedly.
Alleged.
Ay, abantu bazophela before this case concludes. My if that is true, my sincere condolences.
Ziyakhala mas.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Let's continue.
Mgomezulu then said, was it also your discretion that it was not necessary for accused number 1 to be taken before another magistrate after he has made the alleged confession before Colonel Mboto? Then Gininda said, I was satisfied with the confession. And Mgomezulu then went to Mjiako, who was present in the plea bargain that was not finalized or concluded. Gininda said that there was another advocate present, and he revealed that there were proposals and affirmations of standing with confession that were made through the magistrate and Colonel Rapadu, and the proposal of him testifying accused for specific sentences which them as the state were not happy with that sentence. So it was concluded. So he's saying that Ntanzi was going to testify against the other co-accused, implying that he was going to snitch. So we finally have an idea of how and why Mjiako ended up representing Ntanzi. It kind of looks like there were talks happening.
Who paid Mjiako?
Good question.
Because he was not, I would assume he was not the free lawyer that you get.
The state lawyer.
State lawyer?
No. Then Advocate Baloyi stood to say that reference may not be made to 105, a proposal, in any other manner, but if he elects to do so, then he does this at his own peril. And I'm like, yo, what is going on? Gomezulu said that he's not intending to get into the gist of it. He said that he's concerned about the mandate that Mr. Mjiako alleged to have been given by accused number 2 to represent him. So is there a power of attorney that was furnished by Mr. Mjiako? And Gininda said that he did not have the authority to ask him for the power of attorney. He says that he met him on the 23rd of June after he was informed that there is a gentleman who said he's attorney for accused number 2. He says that he doesn't know how they communicated, and he allowed him to be depicted, but there were COVID restrictions at the time, and he said that he was convinced that he was an attorney because he appeared for the accused on numerous times. The accused had the same surname of Buthelezi. There's an advocate that he mentioned. That advocate had the surname of Buthelezi as well. So Gininda was narrating that as they were busy.
What is Mjiako's surname?
It's Mjiako. His name is Dominic Mjiako. So he's saying that as they were busy making these arrangements since Ntanzi had confessed, and they were organizing for him to get a plea bargain.
You know why there's a new advocate of some sort?
Why?
Because I don't think Mjiako's things were fully permitting for such, or for him to perform like that. That's my own opinion. I don't think so. So that so-called invisible advocate, it could be anyone in case you follow up. So Mjiako was there as a lawyer, right?
Yes.
What was an advocate doing there?
And remember that Mjiako was called an advocate as well at the time.
Did an advocate appear there? So they could have messed up for calling Mjiako an advocate.
Ooh.
Maybe he was not an advocate at the time. So now they are creating this new advocate. Obviously, that's my thinking. I'm not saying that's the case.
You're speculating.
I'm speculating.
So a clip that Mgomezulu wanted to submit of Ntanzi when he was addressing the magistrate that he didn't want his attorney, Mr. Mjiako. The presiding officer said that he couldn't listen to him if he was represented. There's a clip of him, guys, shouting and in the court. You know, Gininda said that that was not true. An instruction of where accused number 2 must be held came from Mjiako even. He's saying that that is not true, that Ntanzi did not do that. Can you believe this guy just lied? We saw the clip, sir. We saw it.
It's wiped out. What is that they're forgetting is that it's not wiped out on the internet.
It's the goal to deny that ever happened with a bow chest. Even since the media was there, it is impossible. Mshololo was even there. I'm like, oh, Mshololo. I'm like, hi.
I don't want to say anything about Mshololo. I've always.
I'm like, Mshololo, but now
Hey, they're being fingered here.
You have to cross-examine this one. You must cross-examine.
They are provoking here.
Well, the judge asked for the clip to not be played. Okay, he's saying that those proceedings were nullified because it was de novo. So even the bail application.
That's
was
an
de
interesting
novo.
one. So, if everything was nullified, were these people charged afresh and everything? I don't know. Like,
were they charged afresh? That's a good question. Because when he started, he was like, "You're free to apply for bail."
That's what Nis was asking, in a sense. These documents that are here, they are from the old
charge sheet. So does it mean that they also needed to also like?
So this thing of de novo is crazy.
Charge-
Though. You can go that
de novo
side.
the charging process.
So de novo is such that you can go the other side and lie, and then come back and correct yourself.
And correct your lies.
That's how crazy this de novo thing is. You can, or you can actually lie about what happened. I can slap you in court. And then once de novo, then I can say, no, I did not slap.
I did not do that.
Even
with
if
pride,
there's a
with a
video.
full chest, just like how Brigadier Gininda was doing. That did not happen. Ntanzi did not stand up and say, this lawyer, I don't know him. They are forcing me. That did not happen. Okay, the media was there. It's the audacity for me, the goal.
His de novo is crazy, man. You can. What happened in Rome stays there.
Stays in Rome. Forget that it ever happened.
Whether you saw
Forget
it or you didn't say it, just take it as something that
never happened.
That never happened.
This is ridiculous.
And trust the judge to be there to protect you using de novo.
Hi guys. Hi. This is not on now. This is not fair.
You can say before de novo it was a pistol, and then after de novo you come back a revolver.
And what is said is that the years that they are staying in, we're going to speak for Ntanzi in this particular instance. For Ntanzi to be staying there for how many years now? It's coming to 4 years now. He's been in the jail. And there's nothing de novo about his situation and his reality.
No, his situation is not de novo.
It's not de novoing at all.
That's the thing with de novo. It's just for these lawyers who think they are smarter than everyone else.
And one would say, why didn't he apply for bail? Imagine applying for bail with no residence close to the court. Do you understand that?
No, guys. Let's like the video and let's have 2 calls before we go. If you guys want to say something.
Ay, fufuna ukuphawula ngaphawula mntakama. Like
Ngaphodla.
come uzobhodla nathi like
Remember to say things that are not going to jeopardize this channel.
Yes, please keep us safe. Right? Do not come here and make outrageous accusations that we have
Voila. Press the red button.
Yes, we're gonna press there because I don't want lawsuits. I cannot afford them. I'm poor. Okay.
I've been trading careful for years, and you come, you
Yeah.
don't do that.
I don't
Okay,
want
guys,
lawsuits.
let us call. Have comments if you want to have comments. If you don't have comments, then I guess Emily, we delivered accordingly.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened, and that's pretty much our thoughts put out there for you guys. And just tell us what you think. If you manage to catch
So
this
someone
video
is
later,
saying that Senzo's case is the sad reality of the society we're living in 2024. I can't wait for the confession to be read in court. I wish they be done now on Gininda to read. Now Gininda's still gonna come back. He's much of his case. For now, it's just for trial
Within
within
a
a trial. So it's still gonna come back.
He's coming back.
So yeah.
He will come back for the main trial. But now, after discovering this whole detail, like I'm kind of shaken how Ntanzi was kept like that. Like, can you imagine you go before a judge and they're like, I'm striking it off the roll, and these police people are not
someone
letting
is just
you go.
buzzing. You just buzz. Call. Zanzi, hello.
Hi, it's Sabelo here, Cape Town.
Hi,
Yes.
Sabelo.
Yes, Sabelo. How are you?
Yes, I'm just wondering. Gininda says he's been trying to convince the web MPA to arrest Kelly Khumalo.
Yes, DPP.
And we don't know who in the MPA is preventing that. We must find out.
They said
Because
DPP. Didn't they use the word DPP?
DPP.
They said DPP.
He said he left it with the DPP. He didn't want directly say that the DPP might be the one responsible for
He just
blocking
said
it, but he just left it out there for
DPP.
us to speculate.
Yeah, he said the JAT is not signed, even previously. So we must find out who is not signing it.
It's the DPP.
DPP, obvious. The office. That's the office that authorizes, right?
Yes. It's the DPP.
So all we need to do is to Google who's.
No, we must find out. As a country, we have to find out.
No,
That's Google who is the DPP
That's
and
Google.
who was the DPP
Who's
in
this word
2020.
DPP?
There is someone who said, well, because as an investigator, you present the information. So someone must sign and say, okay, we're going to bring the person in.
No.
So where?
Yeah, just for now, use the internet, then you will get your answers.
Okay, guys. I'll call back again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Someone is saying, Lebza, why are they throwing KK under the bus all of a sudden? It was always gonna come.
Someone was going to be thrown
Zanzi, hello.
under the bus.
Zanzi, hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you reduce the volume? Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear? I can hear myself. That's the problem. The problem is behind you.
Do you hear me?
I hear you, yes.
Yes. You're speaking to Tutu. Can I comment?
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, you can comment.
You can
Yes.
comment.
Shoot.
Yes. But sometimes. Hello.
No, we can hear you. Shoot.
Yes. There's something that is confusing me here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We're listening.
Right now, in this case, we are still Sisagui. Yes, we are still we are still in the case within the child. We are still in the child within the child.
Yes.
But look like this case can take years because
Okay.
we are still in the child within the child.
Yes.
But the question I'm asking is Buzayo Noguchi. Is Opera in and is Opera in? Yes. Secondly,
Yes.
Well, you can breathe for now because
why
I think Gininda
why
is the
all
last.
these statements Gininda vela na umanje? Vela na umanje Gininda at the same time akazophinda sebenze futhi kwi-trial. So this information Gininda afika nayo manje.
Yeah.
Information le esazosetshenziswa i-trial within the trial. So prove ukuthi laba bawu-2 the accused number 1 and accused number 2 they confessed. So this information is also in the again on the child, on the main child. 3, There's something engizibuza yona nje uma ngihlezi ngingedwa. But by look of things, this case can take years. It shows us that it can take years. Who pays these lawyers for accused? Who pays this law? And if state is a mali in terms of fund this case, because you see, this case can take years and years, but where is Mali Selective for at the end? In the his bullet, where is Mali Selective for? Because I think before it was looked like the information before, but the information I don't think would be valid about this case.
Yeah.
It's something that is bullet among the tire in there.
No. Sizile imbuzo yakho mfethu siyabonga kakhulu asabe ukuthi bazokusiza nozakwini la kuma comment. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Abuzi imbuzo enzima.
Yeah, the issue of who pays who pays
Inzima lembuzo.
Yeah,
it's difficult questions,
yeah,
you guys.
that one now it's difficult. But the good thing about mentioning people's name is that people are going to be able to sing nicely. Zanzi, hello.
Hi, Mr. Anonymous and Emily. How are you guys?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. Welcome back.
You actually know what it was.
Welcome back.
Happy New Year to you guys. And sorry?
You were missed.
Oh no. I had flu, so I was trying to get my voice back.
Okay.
Yeah. So no. Yeah, no, I had flu because winter is having us nicely here.
Oh.
Yes, we're in the north. You're in the south.
Yeah,
Apparently, you guys are burning.
yes.
Yeah, we are. We are burning here.
Yeah. Don't know. It's here. We wear thick jackets even if the sun is shining. Yeah, no. It's nice to be back for a new year and new shocks.
Yeah, tell us what you think about today's proceedings.
Today, I had a lot of. I think I was very emotional today. Because I was a dad, I was a son as well, because trying to understand what was happening in court, the altercations from yesterday or the previous days, like right in the morning.
Yeah.
When Ngomezulu and the judge had that first interaction.
Yeah.
When Ngomezulu placed it on the record about what we spoke about last year of him having to do or take this judge on review. That one. And as well as this morning, and just the audacity for me in speaking. And the glasses thing, I wear glasses. I took offense. Yes, like Ngomezulu, sometimes your eyes do get itchy and you don't always wear glasses. And for me, comments like that, it's like now his gloves are off towards Ngomezulu as well. He's going to treat Ngomezulu the same as he treated the other defense lawyers with disdain and disrespect. And I, as much as I applaud Ngomezulu restraining and refraining from entering the pig and the mud, you know, I like how subtly he dealt with certain things, because especially the comment about the universities. And I like that Ngomezulu had to say he from a township university that he mentioned, because in my head it was like, it could be someone who actually says, I get my law degree from the streets, not from the apartheid era or something like that. But with the case in general, I think the Kelly Khumalo thing we were expecting, but probably not in the manner that it came out or now. And I think many people will be like on the bandwagon of being so excited or defensive on her name being mentioned. And the question is, we have had cases of men, especially men who also have come from overseas to kill their partners in South Africa.
Yes.
Where you had the mastermind, you've had the people arrested who actually were part of this with this thing. In this case, we never had this person, and it was appalling because for me, I felt that Baloyi standing up. Firstly, he doesn't bring an application to arrest Kelly Khumalo for whatever reason. He has to jeopardize his case. Fair to him. And then he stands up and defends her name.
Yeah.
When the previous day, the judge, when the same matter was raised in terms of names of people being exposed, he vehemently said, no, let them be read. And today they were catching flames, him and Baloyi. And it's that type of, I think, lack of foresight for both of them. He might be clever in whatever he thinks he is, but there's a lack of foresight thinking that, yes, there is public opinion. People, this is election year. People will be electing based on things like this. And I'm hoping that the people who actually make the bigger number of voters start seeing these things and start seeing, because remember, at the end of the day, is that those laws, they are against you.
Yes.
People of color.
Yes.
Where if you see anyone of non-color going into a court, even the most guiltiest person goes into that court because there's an assumption that because of my color, I am smart. And that's why we end up making comments about when we see clever blacks who know the laws, who know how to speak for themselves in courts when they're accused. And we say, no, this one thinks he's smart, or no. It's just this one comes from a school where he had to go to school with those lesser of a color. And he sees how they speak. And that's the thing with Judge Rata as well. Because he worked with people like that. That's why he speaks to people like him as if he is from the other side. That's the same with the police. The police will trap you who look like them because it comes from that. And sometimes we can remove race, we can remove whatever. But until we deal with these things as South Africa, yes, it is wrong for us to be killed because we want a country that is safe. But we don't want a country that says some people are above the law and some aren't. And in case in point here, one name is mentioned, everyone is going up in arms protecting Kelly Khumalo. No. She has the right to defend her name. She has the right to be heard now that her name is out there. That time will come. Just like these gentlemen, because we've been standing up and saying, or speaking out and saying that we can't convict them when we don't know all the merits of this case.
Yes.
But obviously, people are making their findings without being sober-minded, with sometimes taking emotions out, taking out that you know Senzo or you love Senzo, just taking in cognizance, yes, they are criminals, some of them, but it doesn't mean that because they're criminals, and we've been saying this thing over and over, that everybody has to take a stick, or I think in Xhosa they said for something like this. And I think people really need to start opening and reading. South Africans, we need to read beyond just watching YouTube. No. Your show is informative, but I'm saying that we need to educate. We need to educate ourselves more. Like listening to the case studies, and then you go on the side, and then you just Mr. Anonymous and Emily were speaking about a certain law that they also didn't understand, but then we come back and say, "Oh, I read up on something like this, and it says this. I know the Constitution." What I will advise South Africans to own a copy of the Constitution. Because those are the things that we actually have to educate ourselves. And having a program like you, we can speak about these cases, but we also have to educate South Africans to say, don't be fascinated about just this case, because tomorrow it's going to be you.
Yes.
Do you know your rights? Do you know why you vote? You're not just voting because for your local municipality or something like that. You're voting to change the country. You're voting for the people who's going to tell you where to go and what to do. Because as much as we think we're free, no one in this world is free, because we're all controlled by something and someone. And just for last, I know that I've been long, but I think what happened yesterday is something that we really need to start opening our eyes, and also, as I like what you said, Mr. Anonymous, is reminding ourselves of the cases or what has been placed on record, because people forget what was said and then they focus on the now. And there's so much that was said that is being whitewashed or that is being lied on. And someone once told me, for the best lie, there is some truth.
Yes.
For the best lie, because I tell you, a person can lie to you and you can see, okay, this one is a blatant lie. But for the best lies, there is some truth in it. And even in this case, we need to see what is the truth and what are the lies. And the lies are clear and the truth is also clear. We might differ with Gininda, but there is some truth in the things that he's saying. But it's being manipulated in how it's been presented. And the judge is playing, is not playing, he's Geppetto, a puppet master.
Wow.
Because if you see, he directs what goes for what, and you can see his emotions when things are being exposed and not going the way that he wants it to go, because it's veering off the track that he was planning or thinking that it would go. So I for me, I can't wait for later today, because I love that when Gomezulu said, I have a few things, and then he counted on all of things, because even one thing, you could see that this is going to take more than 3 hours. so it's still going to be a lot of things. So guys, thank you so much. And may this, may your podcast and the journeys that you guys have started for this year be a success. We are here to support. We are here to listen to you guys and also participate. All the best. Loves you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right. I see here. Let's just start calling people's name. Owen. Owen is chatting. DJ Oza. Thank you for being here. Dipuo Lekalakala. Yes.
Dipuo Lekalakala.
You know, I remember this buyer way they used to call Lekalakala. But Kelly is being pushed under the bus. We told you guys, most of you were supporting. Hey. We told you that better now than late. Now it's late. Look at how it's coming.
Yeah.
We know that. Zanzielo. Allegedly. Zanzielo?
Happy New Year, Mzansi Reality. Siyabingelela kusis Emily na Mr. Anonymous.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, unkaba yenkosi lona ngila eAustralia. Last time ngafona zangi introduce ngoba ngisengiphatheke kahle.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Mina ngifuna ucomment nje into eziwu-3 I think.
Yes.
ecourt sine ama-witness umsebenzi wama-witness ukuthi akhone ukusitshela ukuthi kwenzekani. Manje into engixakayo ukuthi sithola ukuthi ama-witness ethu laphana makukhulunywa ngenhlobo yesibhamu esikhona kwaba khona inkinga angazi noma yi-pre-denovo noma kwi-denovo kodwa kwaba khona inkinga bathi hayi esinesondo hayi ngathi kunesondo hayi ngibona ipipe engayibona phambili but mawuya kwi-statement sikaGininda ukhulunywa nge-revolver.
Yes.
So we would say statements if this is true we will say statements sikaGininda sabhalwa after kukhulunywa nama-witness indaba isese-fresh. Then ngibuye futhi ke sizobuya lapho bese ngibuya kulento yesiZulu mawuya kwi-statement sikaGininda uthi labantu bekhuluma isiZulu but ama-witness ethu engathi uye wathi bakhuluma isiZulu sase-KZN angazi noma ngizwe kahle. But masilalela ama-witness ethu uma ngenza iphutha bakhuluma ukuthi bakhuluma isilungu bathi cellphone and mali ngezulu Sotho accent. So ke how can uGininda emphasize ukuthi labantu bakhuluma isiZulu ukuthi i-description yena bengekho la abantu abanikeze i-description bathe labantu bakhuluma isiZulu Sotho umuntu okhuluma isiZulu Sotho umuntu njengami umZulu waselokishini.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah. Or umSotho waselokishini. Or umvenda umtsonga whatever waseka esikhuluma i-language ediluted
mixed language
ayayibona ke. So are they going to take ilena i-consideration yalezi zinto lezi ezimbili ezibaluleke kangaka?
Ijudge phela manje lithi linezinto ke elikhethayo yabona nje engabalekile lokho sikubiza ngokuthi noma kungamanga sethi nje bathini white lie nyana nje kuyenzeka nje but it's not important maybe.
Kodwa ke i-description phela amaphoyisa ngiyavumelana nawe indlela ekhuluma ngayo kodwa amaphoyisa mayefika kuwena efuna i-description yomuntu abathathi badismiss mawuthi hayi lo muntu ebempofu bathi hayi lesi yayilahla kancane lo asingayithathi serious mhlawumbe begrade yabo. I mean language there's nothing as important as language. No, I mean language no net description yomuntu ukuthi begqokene bebonene uye wathini ukhuluma you understand izinto ezisiza abantu asidluleke ngoba nami ngiyambona ujudge ukuthi angathi aye kuphi kodwa ke okunye okungimangazayo asinayo uChico lapha. Mina to me uChico is one of the main witnesses ngoba uChico uyafonelwa kuqala and uChico went to the hospital mangabe angazi noma waya nasendlini kodwa ke engikhumbula ihospital waphinde waya endlini la eseyo offera abantu eseyo offera uKelly iholiday according to i-witness. Asinaye lana asinaye uMaphiri asinaye uMakhumalo hey madoda hayi ke kodwa engiyithandile engivala ngayo engiyithandile angisakhumbuli kodwa ngiye ngayinothisa leyo nto ngiyacabanga ukuthi nani ninotisile ijaji angazi belibuza umjiyako ukuthi unayo whether angazi ukuthi whether statement sign usiyaqala uGininda ne i-power of attorney thank you uyambuza masayiqala enza i-dance ayenzayo ku-advocate Mngomezulu uyamkhuza kanye but uyabona istandard esinjani hayi angishiyela abanye hayi siyabonga ngomsebenzi omuhle niwenzayo siyabonga kakhulu
siyabonga hayi the drama
it's a long one yes call Ansi K more Thank you guys for being here, Owen, and then I have Malachi and Lebza, and I'm just gonna speedily. What?
Owen
Nat.
Komane, DJ Oza.
Yes, I've called that
Okay.
one. Bongani.
Let me go to the beginning.
Utanti.
Usiyam Siana.
Yes, Zakelis Bia.
Tabiso M. Mutaung.
Samuel Radebe. And those are people that were busy on our chat. Yeah, and
Malachi Johannes.
yes, Malachi Johannes has been called, and Sikemo has been called. Tabiso M. Motaung, and basically, yeah, that's it. And guys,
Samora.
again, Samora, always here. And even advising that if you call, switch off YouTube or just minimize
Yeah, the
it.
speaker in the background.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it becomes delayed.
Why are they throwing KK under the bus?
That is the big question.
When we said this thing initially, that eventually it's gonna come here to that point. It sounded like we're crazy, but
yeah, we're crazy. I know.
Yeah, it was
we got
clear.
a lot of heat for that. People are like, no, shit, it's Kelly.
And
But
there was this defender of Kelly. I think this person Butelezi, what is Butelezi here on the comments?
yeah, on the comments.
Surprised now. I want to hear what she would say, or he would say. I want to hear, because we have been saying that this is coming to this point. Here we are.
From Kennel Stain's cell phone, what?
Here we are now. Here we go.
It was coming that Kelly is going to be implicated, but it makes no sense why she's not arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those are things that have to make sense. They are not making sense. They're not making sense. But yes, she is being thrown under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Allegedly. According to us.
And even Senzo Meyiwa, remember that interview?
Yes.
He did comment with regards to what he thinks about Kelly. And his comments were that...
yes,
he
Ronald
doesn't believe-
Valo, you are right. What is it? Can we find more dedicated officers like mistaking it up? No, Ronald Valo, you are right. According to your opinion. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Loyal allies. Yeah, I mean, your opinion is
The
welcome.
quality of investigation.
Okay, blessing my banner. And CN Poker. Just looking at people that I have not called.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I need to go rest eventually, and then so that tomorrow we can listen to this Gomezolo short.
Yeah, I need to listen tomorrow. Today, in fact.
Today.
I have to wake up and listen to that man, okay? I need to hear what he has in store for us today.
Yeah, it's a bye from us.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Dedicated lawyers.